So how does polygamy measure up to men making their own decisions? Well, I'll go through it one step at a time. This being the first step, so please be patient and we'll all hopefully learn something. Now, let's ask some questions. The question to ask here first is, why is marriage such a risk for men? Now, I'll throw at you a few statistics to explain why, but I'll only mention a few because the reasons are numerous. And the risk of marriage is not really my main point here. It's just a supporting clause for why, I believe, polygamy could have worked. The key word being could have worked if it was written into our laws and constitutions. So let's start with divorce statistics. And every statistic I mention here can be browsed in the low bar. But first of all, 70% of divorces are initiated by women. Yes, by women. And according to many sources, it is for no other reason than dissatisfaction. It's not abuse, it's not infidelity. These are not the number one reasons, but simply the horror of being dissatisfied. That is what is knocking on these female brains. And once the woman initiates the divorce, what does the man have to gain? Basically nothing. Anyone who is living in the Western world and has been married and or divorced knows the ridiculous laws that handicap a man in this situation. I won't go into it now, but we are dealing with a society that encourages women to be quote unquote independent and to divorce at the drop of a hat. Quoting one source, the proportion of divorces initiated by women ranged around 60% for most of the 20th century and climbed to more than 70% in the late 1960s when no-fault divorce was introduced. Another headline said, women initiate divorce 66% of the time. Why do they want to get married? But don't be fooled. Even though many headlines mention the facts, the articles themselves almost always try to defend women for going through with such blatant breakups of a family. In other words, you can ask the question, why are so many women initiating divorce? But the headline news usually answers with a convenient excuse for the females. They say, it must be the fault of men. As a result of all these divorces, what we are dealing with is a lot of single mothers without a man, raising their children on their own. Because divorce laws make it easy for a woman to keep her children from their fathers, we have to concede to the fact that we have many children in this day and age being raised solely by a woman. Without even touching on the lack of male teachers at the elementary and primary school levels, we are going far beyond the benefit a child gets from suckling on the tit. So what are the consequences of a society dominated by single mothers?